in the mid-90s, that's one thing I wanted to kind of figure out. How can I objectively have arguments to say that this goaltender is doing good or this goaltender is not doing good, apart from just the save percentage and the goals against average? Because for me, you can be on a great team and have a great save percentage and have a great goals against average, but not necessarily be an efficient goaltender, okay? And you can be on a weak team and not have a great save percentage, not have a great goals against average just because of the context you're in. But when you really break down the game, you can see that you're a difference maker. You're a good goalie, okay? So I wanted to kind of find out a way to kind of objectively figure that out. And when I started collecting all that information over the years, I started to break down the game in different areas where I felt those particular areas were important areas where a goaltender had to be great to really help the team win and get points for his team. So I started to kind of break down the game in certain areas and collect save percentage or ratios that would kind of give me a little bit that information. And a couple of years later, I was maybe 2-3 years into my coaching career, and I will always remember that meeting. Our GM came down one day and told us, well, okay, we're going to trade. We had a young goaltender who was 17 years old. We had a really weak team. We were kind of on the upstart of rebuilding the team. And our GM comes down and says, well, we're going to trade our goalie for another team in the league. It's goalie, one-on-one trade. And I was like, whoa, okay. I was a little bit surprised by that. We were all surprised by it. And then we started to discuss, and I was already starting to collect information. And for me, even if our goalie didn't have a great save percentage, when I looked at the information I was collecting, I could tell that he was on an upward trend. And when we discussed as a staff with our GM, with our coaches, we took the decision not to make the trade. The trade was on the table, and we decided not to make the trade and kind of trust a little bit the information, our gut feeling. And at the end, it worked out for us. That goaltender was Corey Crawford, who had a great junior career with us and had a tremendous career now in the NHL. And we could have lost him at 17 years old just on a whim because we were a struggling team. And his, just off the top, his stats were not great. And we could have traded him for another young goaltender that, his stats were a little bit better. But because of a little bit that information mixed with everybody's opinion and mixed with our discussions, made us take the right decision. So we were lucky in that sense, but it pushed me to kind of break the game even more and find even more areas where I could have objective numbers, where I could really see trends and see where our guys are going, if our guys are doing good or not doing good. So essentially today what I'm going to do is I'm going to present a little bit that information to you. Some of the points that have developed over the last 20 years.